going on, good people? It's David Johns, and I'm back with another installment of Three Things. First up, in case you missed it, recently I testified before members of Congress on eliminating economic barriers for members of the diverse LGBTQ+ community. As many of you know, both Black and LGBTQ+ and same-gender loving people face discrimination in housing, banking, employment, and lending, among other sectors. And for those of us who hold intersectional identities, the discrimination is compounded. So much was covered during the hearing by myself and others who testified, including the importance of passing anti-discrimination legislation, the need for intersectional data collection and reporting, and the importance of legal remedies for those of us experiencing discrimination. For me, Tanya Asapana Johnson-Walker's testimony stood out as she vividly described the experiences of Black trans, non-binary, and non-conforming people in this country and advocated for cultural competency training to address foundational gaps in service provision. You can view the entire hearing on the U.S. House Committee on Financial Services YouTube channel. Also encourage you to call your senators and encourage them to vote yes on the Equality Act, which will go a long way in addressing many of the challenges that were discussed during the hearing. Second, researchers at Penn Medicine received a grant to launch Penn Innovation in Suicide Prevention Implementation Research, INSPIRE, a first-of-its-kind suicide prevention center to develop and adapt suicide prevention interventions for underserved communities, including Black and LGBTQ+ youth, which we know show up at the intersections. A center like this is essential as our babies have been screaming for help for far too long without a meaningful response. Anyone who has read NBJC's Ring the Alarm report knows that suicide rates amongst Black children are 2 times higher than white children. And 36% of youth who attempted suicide in 2017 identify as LGBTQ+. That was before the panorama. People understanding the need to improve outcomes for those who are most vulnerable among us is how we get to freedom. And I look forward to seeing these programs in action and to them continuing to receive the support they need. Third, this week is Transgender Awareness Week with Transgender Day of Resilience, our TDOR, on November 20th. During this week and on this day, we take time to raise awareness of the issues facing our trans siblings, including the silent epidemic of violence they face, including it being manifested in anti-trans legislation. So far in 2021, 45 trans, non-binary, or non-conforming people have been murdered, making it the deadliest year on record. And the year is still not over. And most of the lives that have been lost have been that of Black trans women. And it's hard to find the precise words to express exactly how mad and sad I am when thinking about all of the lives that have been stolen, each of which were filled with promise and potential. On this day and during this week, we also want to hold space to celebrate the resilience of and contributions made by members of the trans community. We celebrate things like Dr. Van Bailey, a member of NBJC's Black Trans Advisory Council, being named to this year's Out 100 cohort, the indomitable Angelica Ross offering diverse and beautiful representations on screens both big and small, and Andrea Jenkins recently winning re-election to the Minneapolis City Council. Please take a moment of silence to remember those lives that have been stolen and to celebrate those fighting for radically inclusive freedom. This is how we all get free. I'll see you all next week.